Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beauty, Cocktails, and Girl Talk. Today, we have a really special guest. Her name is Elizabeth Frankini. You probably know her from season 8 of Bravo's Below Deck, and we are so excited to have her here. She is so inspiring and beautiful, so make sure you grab your cocktails, your tea. Like I said before, doesn't have to be alcohol. So yeah, guys, you ready for this? Let's go. You are so beautiful. So we have to
Thank
ask you,
you.
what is one beauty product that you cannot live without?
Oh, wow. Okay, that's kind of loaded because I'm all about my products. People in the past, they'd be like, "Oh, you and your toys," like, because I love my I love my toiletries and all my, like I like trying different serums and lotions and hair conditioners and all that stuff. I love it. But one that I can't live without, like something that's been steady in my life. This is kind of random, but I'm always in the sun, so it's a sunscreen, and it's Origins. It's an
Ooh,
Origins product. It's in like an orange tube, and I think it's called Enerzing. It's a moisturizer. And it has
oh, yeah.
SPF and it's tinted as well. Like I do swear by that. I don't
It,
know.
so Origins is a amazing brand, and they're organic and they're cruelty free.
Exactly. And it
Yeah.
smells amazing. It just feels good on my skin. It protects me from the sun, and I feel like you don't even need to wear foundation sometimes. Like it just like kind of mattifies your face. And I don't know, that's just like the first thing that came out of my head right now, but
Gonna
there's
get
definitely more.
Now I think I have to try it for real. I've never tried it before. I've heard of it, but now I have to try it. So anything to
Yeah.
blur the
Yeah,
imperfections.
I'm telling you, and I'll get the proper name, like, and I'll give it after. I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now. I think they like kind of changed it at some point, but it's like an Enerzing or something like that. It's a tinted
Huh.
moisturizer, and it's
Okay.
in an
Do you get like at Ulta
tube.
or Sephora?
You can get it at either. I
Oh,
think it's like
either.
it's like one of their most popular products. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna have
yeah. But thank you. I swear, I like have a lot of different random things that I
Oh,
love
no,
using.
that's
So
great. Christina.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, if you could have cocktails with anyone, living or dead, who would it be? And what would you drink? And what would be your topic of conversation?
Oh wow, this is a big one. I love it though.
Take
Um,
time.
so one of my favorite idols, she's a literary author from the past. Her diaries were published. Her name's Anais Nin. I don't know if you've
Oh,
heard of
of
her.
course, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, And I mean, she's also Pisces like me, and I always connected with her. She was such a bold woman, especially at the time when like women were suppressed in their sexuality, but she was a romantic. She wasn't afraid to talk about like just like her feelings that were so rich and so deep, and she had these love affairs that were intense, and yeah, she published her diaries.
Oh,
And she was such a poet, and and she lived her life to the fullest. And I admire her, and I would love to sit down and talk life and romance and sex and all these things with her, and probably drink like, I don't know, like a Manhattan, like some like bourbon, like just like get a little like warm, and yeah, I just feel like that would be kind of like a ideal scenario in
Man.
my dream world.
that's awesome. I love it.
So,
Yeah.
interesting question. If you could travel back into time, you could either go into the future or the past to any
Mhm.
time period, where would you go? And if you could have any question answered, what would it be?
Oh wow. Well, I mean, this might sound cliche, but I love the 1960s. Like I always saw myself like at Woodstock, just like feeling that rebelliousness and of what was going on in the world and the war and racism and all that terrible stuff, and then just being at Woodstock with this amazing rock and roll and people getting into yoga and understanding themselves and taking psychedelics and just the different realities that are like exist. And like, I mean, I think that stuff's so cool, and I don't see it as like a problem unless if you do, if you just are having fun and inquisitive and doing things wisely. And anyway, and so the question that I would ask like somebody in the 60s at that time.
Yeah.
I would love to meet like John Lennon and ask him how he really sees the world becoming one and at peace. And
oh, I love that.
Like what he thinks of the world now. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, wait. Actually, I like that question better. Yeah. Yeah.
Like after the rest of your song, what do you think of the world now?
Like if I was a time traveler, like I go back to the 60s and like tell him what's happening in like 2021 and be like, so what do you think? Like, what should we do? Yeah, totally. I like that idea.
That's great. I love it. I love that. That's a good one.
Yeah. I love dreaming like that,
So let's change gears slightly. So Below Deck, there's a lot of drama that has gone down.
Yeah, it's like
so like what can we expect in the upcoming episode? If whatever you can share, that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like I haven't even seen the next 2 episodes. Like I know like what happens in the general sense, but I don't know how I don't really know how things are gonna look. But let's just say, I mean, all the drama that you've seen, all the, relationships, they pretty much, not do they just stay the same, but they're on the same trajectory. And I think some of them even get worse,
Yeah.
The energy, it gets so intense to a point where, something has to give, something has to explode. So I do think that as of now, it's definitely like, it's rising.
And I think creeping up there, huh?
People have a lot to see in store, and in hindsight too, it's like I had no idea that the drama was going to be this intense after the show, because when you're watching the show, I didn't even know half the things that were being said about me. So like watching it now and like seeing what's being said by people I thought were my friends, like in these interviews, it is hurtful. And I feel like I never really got a chance to speak up, and then like recently I kind of did. And like I still got this like backlash, and I'm like, it is what it is. But
yeah,
and it's definitely it's interesting.
I think you're doing a great job, and you just keep your head up. And my little 2 cents about people talking behind backs and stuff like that is just brush it off your shoulder. That's show business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get that.
And you just keep doing you.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a phone call, but I'm going to deny it right now. Okay. Sorry. Am I still here? Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. Thank you. It's amazing advice.
And you're such a genuine person. Like you can tell, it's easy to tell when someone's being fake or when they're being real, and you have a very sincere vibe, like just your energy.
Thank you. I mean, I have my faults and demons like anybody, but I always try to be, just honest, upfront, genuine, wish the best for everybody, good intentions. Like, it's pretty simple for me, like I see the beauty in everybody, and
is like I remember talking to someone about this, and they're like, confidence isn't like, oh, I'm all that. Confidence is walking into a room, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and being okay with it, and being humble about it, which you are. So I think you are a very positive person. And speaking of Below Deck, we have to ask, romance. What is it like dating on a super yacht versus like dating in? I'm not gonna say like real life, but like dating, different. How is it different?
Oh, it's like so much different. I mean, when you're on the super yacht and you're dating somebody, I just like to say that everything feels that much more intense because you work together, you live together, you're sharing a small space with other people who are your coworkers, which adds an extra layer of just like drama to the relationship. Cause like, and everything just happens really fast. So in some ways I like to say that's good, because you really get to know someone sooner, and if they're not right for you, then like you just know sooner than if I think but when you're dating somebody, not working with them on a yacht, I think the progression can happen at a more natural pace, and I think it's probably a lot healthier, to be honest. So
Outside of the yacht.
when you're outside of the yacht, yeah.
What's
Because
the
you can go on dates, like you have space,
Yeah.
you get
Not
to
all together.
recharge. But when you're all together all the time, you can lose yourself in somebody else, or especially I tend to have done. And I need to keep my energy and my power, and not just give it all away so fast. But yeah, still working on that, clearly.
What's the most important quality when it comes to a partner? Like, what's like, he must have this. He's got to have this, otherwise, no.
Besides just like a attraction, like there has to be that attraction. Like it's not even just physically, but like a feeling, like you just like you want to look into their eyes. They make you smile, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, the chemistry.
Yeah, like that has to be there. But besides that, I really think that a partner that's open-minded and not and like isn't so, you don't want somebody who's controlling and isn't willing to like get to know you, and even if you're so different. Because when I dated people on yachts, they tend to be from other countries, other cultures, and we're so different. But if they allow the differences to make it like, okay, this isn't going to work out, it's like, well, hey, life's about learning and growing, and you can work through differences. And I think that's where the open-mindedness like comes from as an important quality in dating somebody.
Yeah, oh, I love that. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Thanks, love.
What was your favorite moment so far on the show, or do you have one?
Yeah, I think it stood out when Izzy and I, after the guests left our beach picnic at night, and we had to just clean up the beach and wait for I think Eddie to come back and pick us up. We took our uniforms off, stripped down into our bra and underwear, and we went night swimming under the moon on that island. And it was just like moments like that really bring me back to what I love about what I do and who I am, and the travels and what life's all about. And it's just those pure moments of just like beauty and peace beyond work. Like beyond work, beyond the drama, beyond anything. It's like, oh wait, here we are in this water, like floating on our backs, like just look,
it's like it's liberating. It's living in the moment,
Yes, exactly.
I would totally do that with Flash.
Any moment, right? Like any moment when you truly feel alive and you're not just doing something because it's your job and routine. And it's just like soul stuff.
Boring. Yeah. So we're gonna switch gears a little bit again. We have our inspirational talk, and you're very spiritual yourself. You're very consciously aware. So that being said, yeah, and reflecting back on your life, whatever you feel comfortable talking about, what was an experience or a challenge that you overcame, and what do you think the purpose of that experience was? Like, what were your learnings from that experience?
Oh wow. I think some of my most challenging experiences revolved around my relationships. And I think I chose to date some guys that were abusive mentally, emotionally, even got to a point physically. And it's hard to realize that you allowed the behavior, because it says a lot about how you feel about yourself. And I'm like, wow, am I not worthy of, why do I think that this, how can I accept this? So I've had to like really ask those deep questions and heal and go through that almost like at a pattern, to be able to break it. And I'm not gonna lie, like I still fall into I mean, look at the show with James, like he's being such a flirt, and I still was like, I'm looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm like falling for this stuff. But I think I've gotten a lot smarter and I'm taking things a lot lighter. more lightly. And so yeah, you know, it's been a crazy journey in that way. But
I'm
like
sorry
I said,
that you don't deserve that, but that was really bold and brave of you to share, and we really appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that.
thank you for asking. Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. I want to be honest, because hopefully someday when I'm like really living and I feel like I have everything I want, and I feel whole and healed, and I can talk about my experiences and hopefully help others. It's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, being better just so we can like help everyone else that's still stuck in something, you know.
You have no idea how impactful your story can be, sharing your story. Like you could touch, whether it's one person, 100 people, 1,000, 10,000, it makes a difference.
Exactly. I truly believe that as well. And you're amazing for just understanding all of this too. So
thank you.
Shruti, I think you just answered like, what's a mantra to live by?
Seriously, I'm trying to figure this all out.
All of those questions.
Right? Like we're on our way. It's fine. We got this.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. As long as we recognize it, we'll be all right.
Yeah, definityou
Christina, you want to switch gears with some of the fun girl talk questions?
Yeah. So, what is your, like, if you need a minute to think about it, what's the funniest date story that you have?
Oh, a date?
Or most awkward? I don't know.
Oh no, I have one. I went on like a Hinge date for the first time.
Oh God.
And we were kind of talking, like, I mean, not even that much, but like I saw the pictures he had on the Hinge site, and we were talking a little bit, and then decided to meet in like an innocent like coffee date. And I walked out of my apartment and I saw him standing by the car. And hey, look, I'm not saying I'm super shallow or anything, but it was like that energy thing. Like I just already felt like, because he's, you know, he's good looking. Like it's just, it was I already, as I'm getting closer, I just was like, oh no, like I could just, my energy, and I could tell that he's somebody that I wouldn't in like real life feel attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
But I still went along with the date, and we had coffee, and I don't know, and like he was kind of awkward, and like, but I try not to ever have awkward situations. I'm just like, you know, being authentic and making the most of it. But I just don't want to put myself in those situations. I'd rather meet people in real life, I guess. But I don't know, with this day and age, we got to keep trying.
People are so different, like in person versus like online dating. They're just, you get in that physical field and you're just like, oh, that energy is so not what I expect.
That's what I'm saying. It was just like in real life, like we would never, I just feel like, we would never have come together. And I can sense that immediately. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
I know, it's
is there like a study that says like you know if you're attracted to someone like within the first like 3 seconds? I think that's actually true. Like I think it's an unconscious.
And it's like pheromones and stuff, you know?
Oh, definitely. So touching on dating stories, do you remember any memorable pickup lines that someone has used on you?
Ooh. Memorable ones. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'll tell you, there's been a lot of DMs coming along since Below Deck, and it's crazy. So I've gotten a lot of interesting offers, and you know,
you're like, no.
I'm just saying, everybody has their own methods, you know. Some people just think saying like, hello, how are you doing, is like gonna make me respond. And I'm like, I get all these messages. I'm overwhelmed as it is. Like, you know, you gotta get a little more creative than that. But definitely like, but being on my side about things is like, I'm like, is a plus. I'm like, thanks. You know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wish I could think of something really funny, but
no.
If it comes up, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you probably get a lot of them in those DMs. A lot.
I'm telling you, it's It's
Have you
wild.
ever gotten like any inappropriate photos? Like that's all they sent you is just some weird inappropriate photo?
I think it happened once or twice maybe, but definitely once. I literally was like, because I try to, like, I'm not that, I could still kind of manage it. Like I could, so I really do like to respond to people and be like, thank you so much for your support. And like, it really does mean, it really means everything, especially when you put yourself on this type of show and you get judged. But like when people, take the time to be like, hey, you're amazing. Like, I'm not just going to ignore it. I'm really grateful for that. But no, I definitely got like a dick pic. Unwarranted, and it was just like so just no just so
I love the block button on Instagram.
yeah exactly, block.
Oh
yeah.
God.
So invasive.
It is invasive, and it's just unattractive.
Yeah, like I'm here trying to enjoy my cider, and then it's like, no, I don't want to see the stranger
for that
dick.
Unsolicited view of you.
Yeah. Unsolicited view of you.
Yes.
So if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh. Ooh. All right. So have you guys watched The Umbrella Academy?
Yes.
No, I've heard of it though.
It's amazing. One of the girl who has the superpower, so she can look in somebody's eyes and say, I heard a rumor, and then get them to do like anything. So she'll be like, I heard a rumor that you just gave me a kiss or something, and they'll kiss her. So you know what I mean? Like, they're being superheroes. So she'll be like, I heard a rumor that you stabbed yourself. But so to bad people. But I would love like that type of like, I'm all about this like heart connection. Like I think people can be so in their heads and so in the ego, and like I want everyone to just I sound like such a hippie, but I truly want people like to like live through their hearts and like kind of just feel the camaraderie with everybody and the connection and like just chill out. And if I had a superpower to like I don't know, like touch someone's heart and like get them connected to it. This sounds insane, but you know what I mean? Like superpower to melt hearts.
No,
I don't know.
We need to connect more with our hearts. I think it's really important. I think like love is the strongest vibration in the universe. I really do believe that.
Thank you for saying that word. Exactly. If I can just if I had a superpower, it would just to like put everybody in my path on a love vibration. And let's see how that changes the planet.
Yeah.
That's my superpower. Speaking of exes, like if there was one thing of exes, geez, speaking of love. Okay. If there was, I don't know where I was going with that. I'm being dyslexic right now. Okay. So if there was one thing that you could say to an ex, what would you say? Like maybe something that broke your heart or didn't. I don't know.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm sorry. I was young.
Yeah.
I didn't know better.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you. I always will.
Love it.
It's good. Yeah. Because, you learned something from just everybody you come in, that you talk house with. So
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Everybody is just, is so important to who I am today.
Yeah.
Any funny, embarrassing stories that have happened to you recently? Just like fun stuff, like fun, embarrassing stories or anything you want to share.
Oh my gosh, fun, embarrassing. Let's see. I don't know, like having to deal with like below deck. Well, it's funny because I've gotten recognized a couple times.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you that too. What's that been like?
I went on a trip to St. Thomas recently, and when I was in the airport, I met this guy. He was super cool. He had a girl, like we were just like, he was also like a yachty and like, but I had been drinking a lot with like the friends I made, and so I'm in the airport and we're like, oh, let's like be buddies and it was just like we had like the best time.
Like being
And
sick, having a good time.
yeah, being silly, just having a good time. But then we like we got past St. Thomas back to the airport in Fort Lauderdale. We like went to like one more place to like continue our like just like, and then and then a couple they recognized me, and it was
That's
fun. I was
awesome.
talking to them, and maybe that's not embarrassing, but I just think it's funny because I'm like, here I am in this like vulnerable state, like just kind of being free and funny and not really caring about like not. I wasn't being offensive or anything, but still, you're like, I'm like letting loose, and then you get recognized, and
No, it's great.
oh yeah, that's me. Like, hey,
They're like, I love you, Elizabeth. It's such a huge fan.
yeah, it's just, I mean, well, I'm like, oh, it's like it's just weird, because here I am just being myself as I always am, and now all of a sudden, like 1.6 billion million people, the whole world, the whole world watches Below Deck. No, but it's like like these millions of people like watch it and like actually could possibly recognize my face like anywhere, and it's just it's just something to like think about.
You're
I
like,
do.
well, really happening.
Like I said, I don't like get naked and run around the street. Like I'm not worried, but it's just, it's funny. It's funny.
Christina, you want to close it off with the you know what question it is?
Yeah, okay. So I love this question. It's my favorite. Never have I ever.
What have you never done?
Never have I ever.
Oh, come on. You're supposed to give like a what's supposed to be the game. Like I have to think of one. All right. No, never have I ever. I could say something so boring, like never have I ever. I never skydived. But do you want something juicy?
Let's do juicy. Let's do juicy.
Juicy.
Like, okay, like never have I ever been with a girl.
All right, that's pretty
Never
juicy.
have I. Yeah. Never have I. Like, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of juicy for you guys.
No, that's good. That's juicy.
Not like there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just throwing it
just
out
never.
there. Yeah. Man, I wish I was like more creative right now.
No, it's totally cool. Is there anything else that you like want to say that we didn't touch on, or that you'd like to say to your fans?
Let's see. I think something that's just like been bothering me lately is not bothering. Actually, no, nothing is bothering me lately. Honestly, I'm actually pretty okay about the whole thing. But what's just a little unsettling is like, I try to take the high road. I feel like I have taken the high road, and I strive to take the high road in all these situations with people, with coworkers, with friends, like in every way, like I really truly wish the best for everyone. If we don't get along, I'm sad about it. I'm sorry for it. But we move on, we learn from it. I just feel like with the show, I'm not claiming to have been the best stew. I'll own up to any mistakes. If we didn't work well together, we don't work well together. If I messed up, I messed up. Sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been a little bit, and this is not me whining. Like it's just I don't know how, feel like you're being kicked while you're down, or like and I if I do say anything, I'm still getting like shit for it. That's a little frustrating. That's kind of what I'm dealing with.
Feeling down, or feeling low. Like, give me a break. Just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, just like give me a break. We all know. Yeah. So I don't know. That's been kind of annoying. Like, for just with the show, and I just want people to remember that you should always be able to stand up for yourself and speak up, and not feel like you're scared to, or that you're being rude. You can still, I think you can still take the high road and be like, and call things out when they're not fair, or when they're, offensive and they hurt you. And that's being an emotional empath. And I just, I'm trying to step more into my power of like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm emotional, I'm sensitive, I feel things. I can still work hard, and you know, but yeah, I don't think you have to make it one or the other. And
Definitely. I know that,
um,
I had a mentor and he brought this new level of awareness, and he would tell us about like shadow work. So something like, let's say you don't like something about someone, for example, they're an asshole, right? So you're like, oh, this person's an asshole. So instead of being like, they're an asshole, accept that quality in yourself. Like, I too can be an asshole, but I choose not to be, so that you can.
ooh, yes.
So anything you don't like, accept it, that is also in yourself. Like, I too can be violent, but I choose not to be. Because all those qualities that are in people, we're so capable of, but we choose not to do that. Or what am I learning about myself? What am I learning about myself? And it's frustrating because when you're in a moment where you're like, oh, I don't even want to ask that question. But if you bring it back to that, it's going to like just release a lot of stuff.
That's so on point. You're right. That shadow work is everything. So, you know, that's something that I'm going through right now. I guess it's just, yeah, like, you know, what, all these triggers, like, okay, what do I still need to see in myself to accept, to like, let this reality be what it is?
All of us, maybe 4 in this room, are emotional empaths, because I know that I am. I suffer from it. It is the worst thing in the world. It might be a blessing. I don't know.
So they say, but let's see.
I know, Shruti,
I know. It's certainly hard in this world, but at least we're not alone.
But you're right.
Yeah.
That you say.
There's some higher power.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. You can be in showbiz, Hollywood. You can do all that, even though it can be a really like cutthroat world. Like, empathetic or not, you can be in that world
and stay true to yourself. I know that sounds cliche, but like that's what you got to do. And I think that's what we're learning constantly when we're challenged and put in positions like, but no, stay true to yourself.
Especially
exactly.
in that environment, it's very difficult. But like
exactly,
when you start seeing people that you thought had your back talking,
right,
you remember
and so
who you are. And
I'm trying to keep my integrity, you know?
Yeah, you keep that and know that that is who you are, and everybody that loves you knows you, your family, your friends know that.
Yeah, exactly.
These people are in it for some reason, right? For some goal. And whatever that goal is, it doesn't matter, because you are you, and you are staying true to yourself. So that's my little spiel as a fellow empath. So
I love that so much. I love that so much. Thank you. I feel it really.
For doing this. And I always knew, I was telling her before, I was like, when she sat next to me at purchase, I was like, I just knew that this would be a start. Like, I just got a feeling. I don't know if I'm like,
you are so sweet. You're so sweet.
You really are.
Thank you.
You really are.
And she told me, she was like, a long time ago, I knew I'd see her on TV. I just knew it.
You guys are killing me. Thank you. I love it. I mean, I appreciate that. And I love what you're doing with your magazine, and I'd love to know more about it. So definitely, like, let's stay in touch. And I would love to, like, you know, share everything.
Please,
That's the point. Like, you know, I love having a platform literally just so I can support other people that I believe are doing amazing things. Even if I haven't figured out my thing about it yet, it's like I want to be able to support and use this platform for other, especially amazing, inspirational empath women.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Liz, I don't know what do you prefer being called, by the way? Is it Elizabeth or Liz?
Honestly, I don't prefer either. Like, it's like half and half at this point. What did you guys call me? What did you call me in college? I think I was Elizabeth in college, or no, it was Liz. Yeah.
I heard different things. Like, I heard some people call you Liz, and then I heard some people call you Elizabeth.
Hey, I'm like, girl, it's all up to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling me at all.
Yeah, of course. Well, I can't wait to, you know, put this together. And once we have it together, I'll send you the link.
I cannot wait either. And yeah, we'll be in touch. Seriously.
Yeah, this was so much fun.
This was so much fun. I could do this again in a heartbeat. Thank you, girls. It was so nice to chat.
Have a beautiful rest of your week.
Yes, thank you. I'm hoping to stay in Colorado a little longer. It's so cool.
Oh, yeah, Colorado's gorgeous. You must.
Yeah. Oh, are you guys in New York?
No, I'm in Austin right now.
Oh, cool.
I want to be in LA.
I'm from LA. I'm in Austin for right now until the rest of the year. So.
Okay, well that's not a bad place to be. Here, that's an
Not as
amazing
bad.
city.
It's a little California, so.
You're from Long Island, right?
Yeah, originally, yep.
I know
And
Kimberly.
I know, I was gonna say it's crazy that you know my best friend. Like we were meant to all be friends. Like
I
the
know.
connections are uncanny.
Yeah, she's like, oh my God, you know Liz, because she's an actress. I know that, and she's with the same manager. And then we were talking about you. It was like a while ago, but like I was like, you guys seem like sisters. Like I love it.
Yeah, we get that every time we're together, and we grew up like around the block from one another, so it's so weird.
Where in Long Island?
In Malvern, a small town called Malvern in Nassau County.
Oh, it's in Nassau. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So
I love Elizabeth Frankini. I freaking love her. She is such a beautiful and pure spirit. She's super consciously aware of who she is, of her strengths, of what she needs to work on maybe. And I really was taken aback by her answer when we asked her a challenge that she's faced. I had no idea that she was abused in some of her relationships. And I thought that was really, really courageous of her to talk about that, because that's not an easy thing to talk about. And then also bringing it back to herself and asking herself, you know, why do I keep attracting this? What is it that I need to recognize in myself, which I feel like I'm not worthy? And she said that, and it just broke my heart a little bit, because she is such a good soul. She's such a beautiful soul. She's stunning inside and out. Like her spirit just beams light and love. And funny story, which you actually saw, Elizabeth and I actually went to college together. We went to SUNY Purchase together. And I remember her sitting next to me in class. We didn't really talk, but she sat one seat away from me. And I remember, I think it was the first day, I remember looking over at this girl, Elizabeth, and I just remember thinking, there is something very special about this girl. She has this energy, this magnetic energy about her. And I remember saying to one of my friends, I was like, this girl is going to be famous or something. She has that star quality. That's what it is. She has that star quality. And that's not necessarily being famous, but just having a presence. And I just felt so connected to her during this interview. I feel like I've known her forever. And yeah, I mean, she is just so incredible. Team Elizabeth, hashtag Team Elizabeth, we love you. And you guys, make sure to like this video and subscribe. And thanks for joining us. Till next time.